This mini workshop is intended to clarify some misconceptions about focus and offer some practical and empowering strategies to help increase one's focus. Let's start by defining focus. According to Psychology Today, focus is a dynamic process of choosing what is important to notice, do, or recall. While it's helpful to eliminate distractions as a strategy to help with focus, we are bound to be distracted. The real skill comes in our ability to refocus our attention. This is also where the wording of the definition for focus is helpful. It is a dynamic process of choosing what is important. So we can think of our focus or attention like a spotlight or a large flashlight. Where we shine the light is where our attention goes. Inevitably, our attention will drift, but when we realize we've lost our attention, we can re-shine that light back where we want. So that's our first myth, right? We won't ever get distracted. The truth is we will. But when your focus wanders, you can kindly remind yourself of what you were trying to do. There's no need to beat yourself up. Another great strategy is to have a parking lot, which is just a notebook or a Word document that's open to capture random thoughts or tasks that come to your mind while you're trying to focus. This ensures that you won't forget them, but frees your working memory to return to the task. Our second myth is that focus comes easily. We tend to think of focus as something we either have or we don't, something totally outside of our control. In fact, it's more accurate and empowering to think of focus like a muscle that we can train or a skill that we can practice. Unfortunately, media, social media, entertainment, all of our devices, they've all given us a lot more practice in being distracted than in focusing. We've also been led to believe that we can multitask. When we think we're multitasking, we're actually just quickly switching our attention between tasks, and generally our performance on whatever task we're trying to complete is compromised, not to mention the task may take longer. So we need to practice focusing with deep attention in order to build that muscle of focus back up, and with practice, our brain can rewire itself for more focus. So notice patterns in how and when you get distracted. That way you can better predict what will distract you and plan ways to get back on track. Also, when you notice your focus has lapsed, just make a little small check mark for yourself. When you're finished whatever task you're working on, notice the number of check marks that you accrued in that little portion of time. Next time you try to focus, aim to reduce that number slightly. Finally, it can really help to be concrete and specific about the task that you're trying to complete so that it's easier to focus. Our next myth is that we should be able to focus for long stretches of time. In fact, our brain really needs breaks. Also, we have two different ways of thinking, focused and diffuse. Focused thinking is when we consciously give all our attention to a task. Diffuse thinking is when our mind has the freedom to wander, perhaps as we do something else like walking or resting. We really need both types of thinking to learn effectively. Attempting to study for long stretches of time without breaks does not allow your brain the opportunity for both types of thinking. Instead, plan to intersperse short chunks of focus studying with short breaks. This is also known as the Pomodoro method. So Pomodoro just means tomato in Italian, and it refers to a little physical tomato timer that used to be popular. And so the idea behind this method is to set the timer for a chunk of time, let's say 25 minutes, where you're going to focus and you're going to work. Then you set a timer for a short break, maybe 5 minutes. This is where you can allow your brain to just kind of wander and you can check out a little bit more. You can plan a few of these chunks of focus time with short breaks each day, and then you can plan them over the week. That way you're ensuring that you're doing consistent and repeated study sessions instead of cramming the night before. The Pomodoro method is especially helpful in moments where you're struggling to get started or you're just struggling to focus, and it ensures that you have time for both the focused and diffuse thinking. I recommend using your short breaks to go for a walk or do something physical, like a few push-ups or climb some stairs. You might even want to rest your eyes for a short little nap or talk to a friend or have a little bit of fun. The last myth is that focus is purely a matter of willpower. In fact, focus is greatly impacted by many factors, including nutrition, sleep, exercise. If you have not given yourself sufficient sleep, food, water, or exercise, your brain has not been given a chance to perform optimally. High stress and anxiety can also decrease your ability to focus. So devoting time to learning stress and anxiety management techniques such as exercise, relaxation, mindfulness, and breathing can really help free up your attention and focus. I recommend prioritizing good sleep, nutrition, exercise, and social support. Learning those techniques to manage your stress and anxiety, such as simple breathing exercises, and scheduling movement breaks during your study time. Perhaps it's a 10-minute walk, going up and down a few flights of stairs, or even just doing a few push-ups. So remember, you will get distracted, and that's okay. You'll just need to practice focusing. It's also imperative that you allow your brain a break and prioritize taking care of your whole self to support your focus. I hope this short workshop has empowered you with practical strategies to practice and increase your focus. Feel free to explore the sources cited here for more information and strategies.